The Game Awards went down yesterday, and J.J. Abrams talks a little bit about the ending of Star Wars. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
I'm considering getting rid of the intro. I don't mean the song and all that. Super Dario. No, I'm not that. But I mean the saying stuff on the end, just going straight into the whole. I don't know. I'm considering it. I kind of like the whole little tease thing, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Any comments, questions, or suggestions? You can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram. You can also find me at Super Dario World. Or you can follow me on my Facebook page, Super Dario World, right there. All those three things that I mentioned. I'm super far behind on everything, but I will catch up eventually, I promise. Also, if you want to listen to the podcast, you can find it everywhere. SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, the iHeartRadio app, Podcast Addict, Google Podcast. Everywhere you can find it as Super Dario World Podcast. Easiest way for you to find it. All right, so let me talk a little bit about the Game Awards. So a big thing happened during the Game Awards, and that is that they announced they announced the new Xbox, the next generation Xbox, and it's not gonna be called Project Scarlet, even though that's actually a pretty kick-ass name. I really like that name. But no, the next generation console from Microsoft will be called Xbox Series X, and well, for starters, it's a stupid name. Honestly, the only issue I have with it right now is that the name is stupid. Xbox has just been all over the place with its names. You got the Xbox, then the Xbox 360, then the Xbox One, and now it's then they have the Xbox One X, and now this is the Xbox Series X. It's too confusing. Like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Super easy, super simple, super to the point. It gives me a headache, man. It gives me a headache. But they unleashed it, and not unleashed it, and it actually looks pretty cool. Honestly, it's very different. The design is very different. It actually looks closer to a computer tower, which is fine. I don't care about design. When it comes to that stuff, I'm not a design guy. I care about function. Does it work? Does it do what I expect it to do? And honestly, it kind of reminds me of the monolith from 2001. Like if Microsoft is smart, it will start doing some ads with the monolith from 2001. I think that could actually be pretty funny. But the thing looks okay. It looks cool. Visually, it's fine. The things that it has on the inside, well, we're not 100% sure yet. But supposedly, it's going to be an extremely powerful beast, right? It's going to be the most powerful console ever. Now, they haven't specified every single thing yet, but one of the big things that they're promoting right now is that it's going to have streamlining gameplay. Now, for those of you who've played Xbox, you know that sometimes if you leave a game and then come back to it, you can go exactly to where you leave it, right? But you can only do it with one game. Supposedly, this thing is so powerful that you're going to be able to do that with several games, which, I mean, I don't mind the loading. Loading, honestly, the thing is, the loading is going to be faster. That's the key. Faster loading, faster gameplay. And the remote's supposed to be the most sensitive, so you're not going to have any issues. Supposedly, it's just going to be an extremely more powerful machine than the Xbox One was. And the key for it, honestly, the key to anything is games. And so far, they've announced that they're going to have, the next Halo Infinite, and they showed a trailer. During the Game Awards, they showed a whole bunch of trailers, but my favorite one by far was Hellblade 2. Well, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Now, Hellblade 1, Senua's Sacrifice, is actually a pretty good game. The story is very interesting. It's very deep. It kind of goes into mental illness, but in the Viking era. It's a really, really good game. This trailer looks bonkers. First off, at one point, you're not really sure if you're actually seeing CGI or not. Like, if you're actually seeing a computer-generated person or not. It looks beautiful. And so, obviously, that's not going to look in gameplay. But if this machine can render like that, holy shit. Like, honestly, it's very, very impressive. The game looks very good. I love the music. Honestly, the music for it was fantastic. Check it out. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Game Awards trailer. It looks really, really good. There were so many trailers. Let me see the ones that I liked. I'll just quickly mention them. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, X-Men Rise of the Phoenix. All right, looks cool. I mean, I like the X-Men, and now you're going to be able to use Gambit. Gambit is one of my favorite X-Men. You're going to be able to use Iceman. Iceman is an Omega, which is honestly, when I found out that Iceman is an Omega, I was shocked. But apparently he can reach Absolute Zero, so okay, that makes him an Omega. There's a game called Maneater, where basically you're a shark, and you're a man-eating shark. It looks so stupid, but so great. You're just going to be roaming around the ocean, or sometimes on land, and eating people. That's a hell of a premise. It looks actually, I don't know, it seems like one of those things that they need to add something special to it, otherwise it's going to get repetitive and stupid, but the trailer looks fun. It looks fun. Then they showed another one that I liked is the trailer for Humankind. This kind of reminded me of Civilization, but I'm all in. I have issues with Civilization. Now, in Civilization, I think it was 3, I hated that I had a freaking Panzer tank attacking a dude with a spear, and the dude with the spear destroyed my Panzer tank. This is not fucking Ethiopia, okay? And I'm not Italian, which is actually something that fucking happened during World War II. The Italians sent tanks to dudes with spears, and they lost. Oh my god, Italians were such losers during World War II. Anyway, they also showed the Cloud Strife trailer for Final Fantasy VII, which, alright. I mean, I just can't wait for that game. Honestly, I can't wait for that game. I really want to play it. Final Fantasy VII. Which other one caught my eye? Let me see. Sons of the Forest, not that much. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori and the Forbidden Forest is actually a pretty good game. It's a 2D game, but it's actually pretty good. This one looks to be on par, maybe even better. Which one else? Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. I've been waiting for years for this fucking game. It's basically you're a samurai or ninja. I'm not even sure what he is. I think he's a ninja. He might be. Yeah, I think he's a ninja. Or anyway, point is you're a Japanese dude during the Mongolian invasion of Japan. Now, for those of you who know history, that never really happened. The Mongolians tried to invade Japan twice, and twice they were hit by storms, so they never actually could. They lost a whole buttload of people before they even made it to Japan. And so this invasion, I don't think it actually ever happened, but it's a great premise. Like, imagine you're stuck in Japan with Mongolians. That's fucking terrifying. So that one looks pretty good. And New World, I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but it looks interesting. So all those trailers, interesting stuff. I recommend you check them out. But okay, let's go to the Game Awards stuff. So during the Game Awards, it was a bit controversial, and a lot of people got very upset. But doesn't matter. It was hysterical. And the winner, I'll just tell you who the big winner was. The big winner this year is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. And for those of you who've never heard of this game before, I'm not shocked. But it's created from the developers From Software. Now, these are the dudes who made the what's it called? The Dark Souls trilogy. Well, the Dark Souls series, which is a game series. It's one of the hardest video game series out there. It's really honest. It's extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And only people who hate themselves like this series. I'm not kidding. You ever heard the phrase, you gotta get good? Get good. Well, it's from Dark Souls. And so I've never seen anybody play those games and have fun while they do it. They're always suffering. They're always stressed. They're always angry. They're like pissed off. My kid brother, I remember once he was passing. I think it was Dark Souls 2. And I was just walking by, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's real cute game, real fucking cute game, fucking motherfucking fucker." He was just cussing out, really stressed, angry the whole time. Like, dude, why do you keep playing? He's like, "Cause I'm gonna fucking beat it." And I get it. So it's never been my cup of tea. When I play video games, I play to relax. I play to have a good time. But some people like that challenge. Some people, and I get it. Once you get that little badge of honor, like I beat Dark Souls. Yeah, I got good. I got fucking good, and I beat the fucking game. I get it. So anyway, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice was created by the same developer, so the game's really difficult, and it's actually about samurais in Japan. Well, not exactly that, but imagine Dark Souls takes place in kind of like medieval, really, really dark fantasy. Well, this is more of Japanese stuff. It's actually pretty good. My kid brother played it. He really enjoyed it, and he agreed with this. I didn't play it because, again, I don't hate myself. The only game that I'm actually probably going to play from Software, or the first one, is going to be the one that they made with George R. R. Martin. Just because I'm a George R. R. Martin fan who wrote Game of Thrones. So I've been avoiding them for a long time, but now it's like, I got to play it. I got to see what George did. Anyway, that was the game of the year, Shadows Die Twice, which was shocking, because this year, Death Stranding came out, Outer Worlds came out, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, which is the one that upset the most. Like, it upset the most people, like, what? How was it not Smash Bros. Ultimate? Blah, blah, blah. I get it. Apparently, the other one was that good. I don't know. But, yeah, action game of the year was Devil May Cry 5, which, okay, I get it. Devil May Cry is a great franchise. Action adventure, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Let me see. I'll skip a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think you care about the esports event or esports host of the year. Let me see. Family game. This one shocked me as well. Family game. Luigi's Mansion 3 over Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's shocking. Fighting game of the year, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So it did win something. I'm shocked that it did not win Family Game. The Super Smash Bros. It's so much fun. It's a great. I didn't even know that Luigi's Mansion you could play. Wait, is that? I don't even know what Family Game means now. I guess, huh? Does that mean for kids? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's move on. There's another one that I kind of want to mention. Then that just because it proves that I was right about something. For those of you who remember, for a while I was doing reviews for a website called Review Nation. I kind of have to put that on the back burner because I had to start working a lot on my other stuff. I need the money. Let me just do the best direction was Hideo Kojima for Death Stranding, which, by the way, I own it. I haven't played it yet. I've heard so far either it's a game that you're gonna love it, it's a masterpiece, or you're gonna hate it, it's a piece of shit. So I've been kind of waiting on it. But also, Matt Mikkelsen won Best Performance for that one. So not Norman Reedus, Matt Mikkelsen, who plays Hannibal in the TV series. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So I did reviews for a website, and I did a review for a video game called... Well, let me say. The winner of Sports Racing Game of the Year was Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. So Crash Bandicoot, they made a racing game, or they remade his racing game. Anyway, so I mentioned this while I was reviewing it, and I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was an amazing game. I gave it a super, I think I gave it like a 9 or something. And my friend who runs the website, like, dude, are you sure? I think you're just giving a whole bunch of stuff like really high grades for no reason. It's like, no, this thing earned it. Like the things that I've been rating, they've earned those points. They've earned those points. I don't just say things are good for free. And lo and behold, check it out. What do we have here? Who was right? What won the sports/racing game of the year? Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I called it. I said it was a fantastic game. I said it was super fun. It's one of the best, most fun racing games I've played in a while. Suck it. Anyway, also strategy game was Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I also talked very highly about. I remember when it was first announced, I talked very highly of it. It's a great franchise. Anyway, so that was the Game Awards 2019. Interesting stuff. Honestly, I could just talk about the trailers all day, break them every single one down, but I'm not sure how much fun it'll be for you guys because you can't see what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move on to my boy JJ. So the director of for those of you who don't know, if you're like the one person who doesn't know, the final movie in the Star Wars Saga will come out on December 20th. That is next Friday. Next Friday, the Skywalker Saga will finally come to an end. And it will be directed by J.J. Abrams, who directed Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And so, as the premiere is coming, it's coming closer. By the way, I will be watching it Tuesday, so I'll probably do a review on Thursday. Spoiler-free reviews. I always try to do things spoiler-free. So I'll do a spoiler-free review on Wednesday, most likely. Hopefully, knock on wood, you know. And so the thing's coming closer, J. Abrams has been doing a whole bunch of interviews, and one with the New York Times, he talked about about endings and how difficult they are. And so I'll read you exactly what he said, and then I'll get into my points, because I've talked about endings a lot. So here he goes, quote, I've never been great at endings. I don't actually think I'm good at anything, but I know how to begin a story. Ending a story is tough. Sticking this landing is one of the harder jobs that I could have taken, but that's why I felt worthy of saying yes. And okay, that's one quote. I'll continue with another one. Endings are the thing that scare me the most. This is about bringing this thing to a close in a way that it's emotional and meaningful and also satisfying in terms of actually answering as many questions as possible. So if years from now someone's watching these movies, all 9 of them, they're watching a story that's cohesive, that's as cohesive as possible. Now, I fully agree with JJ here. Endings are difficult. The two hardest parts of any story are the beginning and the end. I've mentioned this several times. The beginnings are hard because you need to be able to catch somebody's attention very, very quickly. People, especially now, people have a really short attention span. So if you don't catch them in the very first act, in the very first pages, you're done. All right? You're finished. Endings also are very, very difficult because sometimes, you don't know where to end it, how to end it. You want to force an ending that doesn't make sense. You don't know exactly how to wrap everything up. Sometimes you've built you built so many things up that you're leaving loose ends. It's difficult. Endings are extremely difficult. All right, almost as honestly, I don't know which one's harder, beginning or ending, because they all present their own unique challenges. I think that starting the beginning is harder. I legitimately think that the beginning is way harder than the end, just because it's a lot harder to get going. All right, it's really easy to once you're rolling to just be like, all right, here I'll end it here, whatever. You can really end things anywhere, but a good ending is hard, right? Especially on a saga of this magnitude, and especially following up the fucking piece of shit that was The Last Jedi. It is extremely difficult. The challenge that this dude is facing is gargantuan. All right, honestly, I have no idea why he took on the job. Well, I know he took on the job, money. Also, because he gets a chance to wrap up one of his all-time favorite franchises, one of his favorite franchises. But it's I like that he said this. In a way, a part of me appreciates that he says this because he's acknowledging it. I talked about it I talked about this on one of my very first podcasts. We've never really seen an ending from JJ. JJ, a lot of his projects have been cut down before their time. They've ended before, or somebody else ends it, or he lost them for some reason or another, or he leaves the project before it's actually finished. And so this is the first time that we're actually going to see JJ maybe finish something up. And so honestly, it's a difficult task. I can't imagine how you go into how you can take something that you love so much and decide, you know what, I'll try to make it better. It's not something like, for example, if somebody told me right now, what's your favorite trilogy of all time? Oh, Lord of the Rings. Okay, would you like to remake them, or would you like to make Lord of the Rings 4? I'd be like, yes, I would like to, but I have no fucking idea how or what I would do that's better than something that I consider to already be the greatest thing of all time, right? It's very difficult. He took on the challenge. I think he went a really safe route on the Force Awakens, which was his big mistake. Well, that and making Rey marry Sue. But honestly, I think that was more Disney pushing that than him. But whatever. So that was a mistake. Now, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I legitimately don't know how I feel about this one, because The Last Jedi left me with nothing. It left me with nothing. No desire to see what happens next. There's nothing that I really care about right now, and so I don't know. I don't know. That's I just thought it was interesting that he said that because, honestly, again, it verifies something that I said before. Endings are hard, man. Endings are hard. And if we're talking about favorite endings, ooh, that's a difficult one. That's difficult. I know my favorite opening lines for books. Like, I really like Stephen King's The Gunslinger. That's the Dark Tower series. The first book is called The Gunslinger, and the opening line is, "The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed." I think that might be my favorite opener. I also like "Call Me Ishmael," Moby Dick, or "It was the best of times." It was the best of times, or the worst of times. So those are classics. But I think it's the Gunslinger that's so burned into my brain. Endings, though, ooh. Well, actually, the Dark Tower series, I really enjoyed the ending. I thought the ending was perfect. A lot of people complain about it, though, and I'm not gonna do spoilers. Actually, you know what? Actually, I can't tell you about my favorite ending because it's gonna be a massive spoiler for somebody. So, and I started this thing saying that I'm not gonna do any spoilers. So, I'll just wrap it up there. Let me see. Any comments, questions, suggestions? You can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or SuperDario_World. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again on Monday.